Hey, can you guys hear us now?
Hey, there we go.
Can you hear
Hello.
me, Ray? Ray, good?
Hi, my name's Ray.
Brad?
Hi, my name's Brad.
I am Chuck, and welcome to the Funbearable Christmas podcast.
Woo!
So, how many people here are fans of Funbearable?
How many people here wanted to get out of the cold?
Is there anyone here that hasn't listened to our podcast before? Anybody? No? No one's here that hasn't listened to the podcast? That's great. I thought some people would just be kind of coming in off the street. I love that. Give yourselves a round of applause for supporting a new podcast.
Brad said he's never listened to an episode.
I refuse. It's filthy.
Speaking of filthy, I just looked over to my right. Chuck, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, you don't normally have press-on nails.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What are you So, here's the problem. What I thought would be fun for the show would be like a different way to dress up for Christmas that I've never dressed up in before.
God bless
And I started Googling interesting ways a man can dress up for Christmas. And I came up with these fingernails.
Yeah.
And I thought these would be different.
Yeah,
They are different.
They are different.
Yeah.
Chuck, are you that bored of masturbating?
He just wants to make it dangerous.
I thought they'd be. What do you think about them?
I hate him. I hate him so much.
Really?
I mean, you do you, right?
Right.
But you know.
I got an Argyle right in the middle. Right? That's a good one. I got like a Christmas sweater on the pointer. Just a glitter guy right over here to the, what is that one?
You love
That's a
glitter
ring.
guys.
And then I have a little stocking on the two pinkies, which I thought was fun. And then just a big snowflake on the thumb.
You know, I'm thinking about the fact that like 5 minutes before the show started, you came up to me in the back and said, "I'm going to run outside real quick. You're in charge. You got this. Everything's fine. The cameras are running. Just go." And then
I believe he said, "I can't help. I'll be paralyzed."
Yes. Yes.
Hold on. This is an intimate setting. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I put these on.
Wait, those aren't your biological nails?
We put these on, and then I said, I have to fish my penis out of my pants to urinate before I go on stage. But
Fish is accurate. Fish is absolutely accurate.
I didn't want to.
Scent, shape, everything.
I didn't.
Oh no! Oh, an old boot.
Classic trash.
I didn't want to scratch or puncture, so I went to the bathroom and I tried to have someone help me out, and I was like, no, I'm not going to have anyone touch my flaccid dick and help me piss before the show. So I am going to have to pee the entire time we're on stage because of this tiny stunt that made you laugh for 10 seconds, right?
Really? We're gonna have to go back to the footage and run a clock on that. I think that was a 1 second joke. Is it a laugh if you go, "What the fuck"?
My stopwatch only does hundredths of a second. I can't track it.
I thought you were going to get more enjoyment out of this. What?
I mean,
How many times have you said that? So many times.
By the way,
that meek voice.
This is hell. I hate this.
Yeah.
I came up with this last week, and we just put them on. I'd never even tried it before.
Came up with it.
I was like, you know what's
In his little notebook of ideas.
I was like, you know what's going to kill at the live show? These awful nails. And I hate them. Oh, my God.
Yeah, you're like Mary Krueger. That got a bigger laugh than those nails.
Oh, for nothing.
Welcome to the Christmas live episode of Funbearable. Is it a live podcast or is it a shit show you get to witness? Some say a little bit of both.
buy some tickets to the train wreck.
Now, we do have a lot of fun things lined up for this podcast.
We do.
And we got together and we talked about what ideas we had for this, what fun things we could do. And we wrote a lot down. And then we realized very quickly that most of it was bad. Most of it was just a whole lot of bad ideas.
That's true.
And I'm not proud of some of the things we came up with.
True.
But so just to set expectations and a level so you can understand the rest of the show, I want you to know what we could have done.
Yeah, we thought we would bring our bad ideas to the table and let you know what we almost did. I only have 2 bad ideas because all my good ideas made the show. But I have 2 bad ideas. How many bad ideas do you have?
I have 6.
How many bad ideas do you have?
Oddly enough, I have 4. So
Wow. Jeez. All right.
Yep.
Who wants to start? Ray, you want to start telling
Sure.
them?
Well, I mean, I thought it would be fun to incorporate everyone in the show, and I thought it would be fun to end on a huge surprise. So I proposed that we tape a puppy under everyone's chair. I was told we couldn't. Brad, what about you?
I have a segment I wrote. It was just called "Trim Each Other's Tree," and then I drew a winking emoticon next to it. I have 2 very similar jokes. I have another one that says, one of us has to give birth, in quotes, in a manger, in quotes. But I don't know what either of those quotes would refer to. So those are 2 terrible ideas. Chuck, what's one of yours?
Well, my first idea for this show was a candy cane sucking contest.
Wait, contest?
Then it was, you really think of the logistics. It's like, what are we trying to do here?
Is it speed? Is it
Right.
style?
Yeah, are we getting the stripes off? I think getting the stripes off is good. But too erotic is how we decided to not do that one, right?
I don't think there's a winner so much as everybody's a loser. I said that we should sing our new Christmas song, 183 Days of Christmas.
What's day 145?
You put me on the spot.
I really did.
I hope it's Ray's a scrambling.
I have, you've heard of Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve? How about Funbearable's Twerkin' Christmas Eve?
And Brad, didn't you say, you told me last year that you were glad that Dick Clark was dead because you said his rockin' New Year's Eve was too racy for you.
Yeah. It was too much.
Too
It kept me up
racy.
all night.
You,
Past midnight.
you often talk about Dick Clark as if he's a Sam Kinison of his time.
Oh, yeah.
I said that we should have Brad tell us what it was like for him as a small child celebrating Christmas during World War II.
It was tough. Rationing. It's very difficult. Scrap drives.
One of my ideas was, I didn't really come up with exactly what it would be, but I know we would all start in long nightgowns and nightcaps, and it's called Ebenezer Splooge.
Well, Chuck, I remember one of your ideas that you didn't write down in your list. One of your ideas was to, and this is what Chuck said, roast Hanukkah and its traditions hard. Really let them have it, he said.
Yeah.
Well, I went the opposite direction as far as multicultural celebrations. I have the Funbearable Kwanzaa Quiz Contest. However, I spelled quiz and contest in a funny way, so it's...
Oh, no.
You know what? I'm just going to close this notebook. I'm going to close the notebook.
The poster is not good.
No, it is not.
I don't know what this is either. I just wrote down Sheila the Christmas Slut. I think it's because she straight up loves Christmas.
Yeah, I bet she does. She seems like that.
And then finally, my last one, and you guys hated it, and I thought it would be great, get a little buzz about the podcast. 4 words, special guest Kanye West.
Oh, that is a bad idea. Wow. We didn't do any of those.
So no more for these nails, huh? That was all for just that little beginning?
Yeah. I want you to live in them.
What if I give Brad a little scratch?
You know what?
Oh.
Kind of nice.
I'll keep him on.
Somebody really wanted to see that.
Yes.
I just don't know who, but somebody really wanted to see that. Now, Christmas is a special time.
Yeah.
Is it not? Can we not all agree?
Yeah.
Christmas is a special time. And we all know the Christmas traditions here in the U.S. of A. But a lot of places celebrate Christmas in different ways. And so throughout the night, I thought it would be fun to chime in with a little bit of information. Put the info in infotainment, right? Mm-hmm. Edutainment.
Right.
So here's the first Christmas fun fact. Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree is a Christmas classic that was released back in 1958 with Brenda Lee singing the festive tune. It's also Chuck's #1 pick for sexy times, right?
Mm-hmm. I said that?
Yeah. Here's a fun fact. Brenda Lee was only 13 years old when she recorded that song.
Chuck, you are gross.
Well, I mean, I didn't look that up beforehand.
I just like to know that while you're doing sexy times, a 13-year-old girl is singing in the background.
Hold on. Let me think about this. Let me think about my other
Don't
sexy
think too
songs.
hard, you'll get hard.
No, my other sex songs are Baby Beluga. What else?
Jesus Christ.
There's one of those Jackson 5 songs that really got me going, too. I'm trying to think of which one it was, though.
Don't scratch your own face. I don't like that.
Don't you just cross off Kids Bop Volume whatever and write Chuck's sexy mix? But there are a lot of different ways people celebrate Christmas, and in fact, there is one particular Funbearable listener that is playfully referred to as the Schwarzbauer, and
Yes.
yeah, and she is German. She
Yes.
hails from Germany, Sabrina.
That's right.
And she sent us some lovely Christmas presents.
Yes.
And we really do appreciate that. And she also sent us a lovely email describing what she does for Christmas traditions in Germany.
Yeah, that's true. She jumped on the Funbearable train immediately.
Let's not use train
no, not for
imagery
Germans, no.
Germany. That's a bad idea.
All right. She has us in the chamber, and she really enjoys Funbearable, and we were very thankful. And she kind of wrote us unprompted, here's all my German Christmas traditions. So we said, wouldn't this be fun to go through at the live podcast? So, Brad, are you going to read them?
I have it on my phone. Did you print
Wow.
it?
I did not
All
print
right,
it, no.
Then here we go.
Brad is a big German guy. He majored in German. Is that right?
Minored in German.
Wow. Give it up for Brad.
Yeah. No, don't. It was years ago.
It's really weird to identify as like, I'm a big fan. Big fan of Germany. Love their stuff.
Hey, Daddy Bears.
Perfect. Keep it.
You want to know about Christmas traditions? So this is how we celebrate in Germany. First of all, we already celebrate Christmas on 24th December. It is called Holy Evening. You start gathering in the late afternoon, and then, when it's dark outside, you light up the Christmas tree. When you have children, they normally wait in their rooms and wait for a bell to ring.
I'm sorry. No, nobody else is entertained by that. Nobody else is entertained by the idea of German children locked in their rooms while everybody else is having a good time, waiting for a bell to ring. Just sitting in their bed. Oh, I wonder what would be under the tree tonight. Oh, if I only hear the ding-dong of a bell, I can come out.
This is a German Christmas carol called Kling, Glöckchen, Klingelingeling.
Did you just have an orgasm?
First of all, yes. It was when Chuck's fingernails touched my head.
Kling-a-ling-a-ling.
Yeah. Here we go. Blah, blah, blah. Wait for a bell to ring. This means the Christkind was there, and so are the presents. Some families dress nicely for this. Others don't.
She didn't specify.
Look at those poor people. I bet they can't even afford a bell to let their children out.
They have to say kling, glöckchen, kling-a-ling-a-ling.
They just rattle a stick on the doorknob.
As kids, my brother and me did bets about what will be more colorful and sparklier this year, Grandma or the Christmas tree. Do you want to do Grandma's voice, Ray?
No, because that's getting a little too historical for me.
After,
You know, we used to have nice Christmases. For a little while. I'd say around like the late 30s, early 40s, it was nice.
when Brad was a child. After unwrapping presents, you sit down for dinner. Every household has its own tradition here. Some have potato salad. Yes, Brad, it is spicy. With mayonnaise. And wieners. Others have a roasted goose. Others a cooked carp, which lived in your bathtub for some days.
Oh, that's the poor people.
Yeah.
Or, like my parents and me, a nice fondue. After stuffing your face,
Sorry, we just
All right,
heard
go
a deep from the audience.
some fondue fans.
some melted cheese and children
gotta
locked
dip
away.
a stick in there, yeah. After stuffing your face, you play games or chat, or, way later, you go to a Christmas party in a bar. On the 25th and 26th, you normally drive to your grandparents or in-laws. Some families go out for Christmas lunch to a restaurant and then come back home. coffee, cake, and self-baked cookies are served. And I know what she means, but the idea of no,
Like
you have
homemade
to,
cookies,
you have to
yeah.
cook that cookie yourself.
Oh, see, I envision somebody in Germany just like opening like a Pillsbury thing, putting it on the tray and going, now cook. It is you who will be doing the heating. I don't touch ovens anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. When you don't laugh, that's when it's weird, okay?
Self-baked cookies. For dinner, you can have everything from spectacular to normal.
I'll have normal, please.
That's Brad. That's Brad.
Could you make mine extra normal? When my Grams was still alive, we always had schnitzel with fries and an onion bell pepper sauce on the 25th.
Too much for you.
Way too much for me.
Yeah. If you can't see through it, I don't want to eat it. That's what Brad said.
Thick water. Whole December is a really lovely time here. Christmas markets everywhere with alcoholic mulled wine, shitloads of self-baked Christmas cookies.
Now bake.
Yes. A lot of Christmas lights and loads of gatherings with friends for food. So if you want to come over and gain happily some weight, come in December to get the whole Christmas experience. Love you, little bears, Sabrina.
Oh, that's very lovely.
Give it up for Sabrina.
Yeah,
She's amazing.
absolutely.
She's incredible.
She's the number one Spaß
Yes.
bear. Spaß bear.
These nails are so distracting. I can't even think straight. I hate it.
I'll say a woman was walking in front of me today wearing high heels, and I'm like, man, it sucks that women have to live with men's dumb fashion rules. And now I think you're getting an experience of women's nails are expected to be, nice.
I know that was the reason I did it. I wanted to say, what do other people suffer through during the season, and how can I suffer as well?
Right, yeah.
I can't wait for you to have to take a shit. I really can't wait.
I'm already scared for my penis. I don't even want to think about my anus. Why did you quiet down? Obviously, that was your joke. You said it like that was over the line, but that's exactly what you were referencing.
We all thought about it. We all just let it sit there.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Like my World War II reference. So now we know about the live audience that we equate the atrocities of World War II with the idea of Chuck touching his penis.
With these nails. Otherwise, they're just like, thumbs up.
I assure you they are not.
No, they were describing it to the police.
Yes.
It looked like that. Here's another fun Christmas fact.
Thank you.
Jesus, let's get this train back on the rails. Did you know that there's a Catalonian tradition of cagatio, or defecating log?
I actually did know this.
Oh, well, excuse the fuck out of me. Locals in Catalonia create a character out of a log, drawing a face on it and giving it a hat. Then the children spend a fortnight feeding it fruit, nuts, and sweets. On Christmas Eve, the entire family beats the log with sticks and sings a traditional song that translates to, "If you don't crap well, I'll beat you with a stick," until the log excretes all of its treats. Fun fact, we were going to do that for this show, but Chuck said it was too horny.
I love the idea that you're beating it with a stick and then yelling at it if you don't.
The log's like, "I'm doing it! Get off my back!"
Real until morale improves energy there.
Man, even clapping feels different. I just went like this.
There's two shows happening right now.
I can't stand this.
There's the live podcast, and then there's Chuck in his own world.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
He's literally fascinated by his own hands like an infant. He's like, look at what they do.
Chuck, you see my glass of water? Peekaboo! It's still there.
Oh, he doesn't have object permanence yet.
No,
That's adorable.
He's working on it.
Can we try one thing? Brad, close your eyes.
All right.
I'm not gonna hurt you. You ready?
Yes. No, I don't like that.
I thought you were gonna like it a
Top
lot.
of my head was okay.
Jesus.
So I think I'm starting my own podcast.
That's right.
I just wanted to see.
It's called You Sit Over There. But it is Christmas time, and I'm going to say that every time I transition into another segment.
You know what? It is Christmas.
It is
time.
Christmas time, okay? And we love Christmas, right? And I would say that I think it's accurate if someone were to say, call us man children, right?
Sure.
Yes.
I like to think we have we keep the child alive inside us, right? And inside my basement.
Yeah.
And the fun thing is, every year we also like to keep that childhood wonder alive by writing letters to Santa himself.
Right.
And there was a bit of a mix-up this year.
Is that how we're explaining it?
Yeah. There was a bit of a mix-up this year. We all put our letters in our little Santa mailbox. But none of us told the post person that they were there.
Can I give you my setup now?
Yeah, you do the setup.
Oh, I have a different setup. Here was my plan.
Okay.
We all love each other so much. on
Put
this
your
stage.
hands down. You're doing it like
You better knock it off, okay?
Oh.
Listen.
Oh, God, we got a Karen on the show.
So, I thought as a fun gift to save us time, like as a present for Ray, Brad and I wanted to save him time by writing his letter to Santa Claus this year. We know Ray. We know what he'd want. So we wrote his letter, and to save me time, Ray and Brad wrote me. It doesn't make any sense because we're all spending the same time,
same amount of time
writing each other's letters.
And I want people to know that the letter that I'm going to read was written by you.
Okay,
to
perfect.
Santa.
Okay, that's great. So your setup is all the letters got mixed up, and you have my letter to Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yep. All right, that's good.
My setup was we needed a comedy segment. So we agreed to
guys
write
love
each other's letters to Santa.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah. Well, okay, then why don't one of you give it a go?
Do you want to read it, Brad?
Yeah, we're going to read Ray's letter to Santa. Is that the one?
Yeah, this is definitely Ray's real letter to Santa that Brad and I found. And so we thought it'd be nice to read it at the show. You know what? Here's the setup. We wanted
good.
to encourage you. Here we go, fifth setup. As adults, we think you should still be writing to Santa. And to make you feel unabashedly proud of that, we're going to read our letters to Santa. And Brad and I happened to find Ray's.
Yeah, and this will all make sense when we actually do the live show.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, really quickly, I did think about this because we were talking about Santa. We were thinking about Santa, and I'm sorry, somebody just put up a picture of Nosferatu on their phone and tilted it towards us, and that's all I'm thinking about right now. Chuck Ferratu.
Yeah, that's right.
So-
I forgot about that.
But I did realize something about Mr. Kris Kringle, Santa Claus. There's a lot of songs about Santa for
Yes.
Christmas, and what I realized was you can change those songs into something horrifying by simply changing Santa's name to Gary. It's horrifying.
An example, please?
You better watch out. You better not pout. You better not cry. I'm telling you why. Gary's coming to town. Right? I saw Mommy kissing Gary. Here comes Gary. Here comes Gary. Right? And then finally, I was going to say...
Gary Lane.
Oh, that's what he calls it. And finally, I was going to add one more, which was Gary Baby. Gary Baby, hurry down my chimney tonight. I like that. It's not scary. It's just real weird, right? Gary Baby, Jesus, Linda, the kids are still awake. That's fun. So I forgot what I wrote to Santa. Maybe you can remind me what I
Yeah,
wrote.
we're going to remind Ray. Yeah, that's
To
what-
remind you.
So this is Ray's letter to Santa. Brad and I want to remind Ray of what he asked for this year.
I completely forgot. It's as if I didn't write it myself and have no idea what's happening.
Dear Santa, hey again, it's me, Ray. Ray Harrington. That's right, from Conan.
He would already know.
No need to check your list twice. I'll fill you in. I'm on the nice list. I love to fill people in. I call it Ray-splaining. It's like mansplaining, but it's positive because I know a lot of stuff and other people just don't know as much as me. I'm so nice, by the way, that I'm not asking you for anything this year. Instead, I'm writing in for someone I love. Yes, the list of people I love is long. David Duke, Alex Jones, that Rittenhouse kid, what with the bad luck? But I'd like to focus on the person I love the most. I'm writing on behalf of my son.
That's nice, Ray.
I'll allow it, but watch yourself, counselor.
You're going to regret allowing it, I'll tell you.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. He's an 8-year-old little boy. He has nothing to do with this. You leave him alone.
My son is a good kid.
True.
But as his father, I worry about the world he's growing up in.
Also true.
You get it. You're Father Christmas. I mean, I know you're not a real father like me. I'm actually just realizing that. I'm sorry you're sterile, or maybe Mrs. Claus is barren, but hey, them's the breaks. Don't worry, my pecker don't work so well neither. Sometimes it's like a wet Twinkie. Sometimes it's more like a dead kitten. Sometimes it's like one of those Twizzlers that untwists into strand after strand after strand. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, my son. His Christmas letter. First, my son would like to grow up in a world where women aren't allowed to be stand-up comedians.
Oh, my God.
Jeez, Ray.
There are only so many spots in the world for successful comics, and my son believes that more of those spots need to go to white men. Bearded white men. Schlubby bearded white men.
Hey.
With twizzle dicks. I don't understand who allowed women into the world of comedy in the first place. What's next? People will be allowed to marry our dogs? Gross. My dog hates to have sex with me. Bad wife material. Plus, he's so little. Sometimes I think I'm killing him.
Jesus, Marty.
The last thing my son would like is the entire collection of Donald Trump NFTs. I know that seems strange, but for some reason, my son says there's something comforting about a demented, loudmouth blowhard who thinks he's always right. I don't get it, but my little baby boy says that a guy like that just feels like home. One last thing. Thanks for giving me what I asked for last year, 2 angels to start a podcast with. And just like I asked for, thanks for making sure they weren't gays or Puerto Ricans. Love, Ray.
Ray! Yay, Ray! Wow.
It's nice that you care about your son so much.
Your family's not in this. It's just you.
Well, I think I should go next.
Okay.
Because Brad wrote a letter to Santa as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What did I say in that?
Yeah, you probably forgot what you wrote.
I was messed up on Ambien when I wrote it.
Yeah, so I'll fill in the people here. And, you guys know Brad. He's a very specific guy. So he asked for some interesting things. Brad wrote, Dear Santa.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Claus. This is Bradley Rohr. Sorry.
That's the biggest
That's
laugh
perfect.
Brad has had,
That's
and I'm
perfect.
so happy. I'm so happy.
It should be Love Brad from there. That's all it needs to be.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, good.
I've organized my letter to you in spreadsheet form for efficiency. I'm writing to you from my humble home in Rhode Island as I sip a piping hot mug of Mountain Dew.
It's just room temperature. It's not hot.
Room temp.
With my cat Rosie curled up in my flat little lap.
That's correct.
Rosie says hello. She's the man of the house around here.
Also true.
Number 1. Can you see inside my brain? If so, my first present request is this. Please don't tell God about my browser history. I'm ashamed for having accounts on the following websites. LonelyFans, Forlorn Hub, and MILFs.com. But it's not what you think, Santa. This one stands for Mildly Irritated Ladies Frowning. And Santa, I'm a real MILF myself. Again, different kind. My doctor diagnosed me as a mad, impotent little fiend. Number 2. Please answer the question. How old is too old to be a school shooter? I keep reading online that it's never too late to pursue your passions. Please let me know ASAP. Number 3. My grandmother suffered from brittle bone disease. It was horrifying to watch her go through that. Do you think you could make sure that I also get it? It would be great to get some attention and sympathy from others by any means necessary.
You love brittle bone disease as a joke.
I love it. Number 4. I just quit my job at UMass Dartmouth, and I need a new job.
Very true.
There are a few jobs I thought I'd be perfect for.
Oh, no.
But turns out these jobs don't actually exist. My ideas were sad rodeo clown, coffin tester,
Somebody's got to do it.
and I just got a formal letter from Ringling Brothers Circus. They are not interested in my idea for how I could be a circus attraction. I think people would travel for miles to see the world's most boring man. It's the role I was born to play. Number 5. You know what would be nice? The ability to experience joy.
I would love it.
Number 6. My hips, back, and all my joints ache constantly.
True.
Do you think that maybe you could put me out of my misery?
Oh, please.
In case you're considering it, there's a loaded handgun on my nightstand.
It's Rosie's.
She's a real 2A, right?
Well, Rosie is telling me I need to take an Ambien and go to sleep. Please see what you can do. No pressure, though. Sorry. Thank you. Sorry. Bradley.
I have that many sorries in an initial dating website message.
Bray, you cut one of my jokes.
What joke?
I wrote a joke that said that...
I think it should stay cut.
It was just a rough idea, and it said Brad gets into crocheting, but because of his Ambien addiction, one night he mistakenly sews his penis to his scrotum. And then I put in quotes, now when I have to pee, I have to grab the whole kit and caboodle.
That was in the list of like rough ideas, and then because you were like, "Hey, we got to write this together, right?" And so we did that. We wrote it together. I did the sorry. Very happy with that. Yeah. And and then you had like a whole bunch of stuff there, and I wrote yours a week and a half ago, and then you handed that to me back there. While James Firth was up here doing stand-up, and he goes, we got to figure this out. And he hands it to me and leaves so he can put on his nails. And then he goes, you cut a joke. Boy, Ray, you really dropped the ball on this one.
I put so many quick ideas that I didn't explain to you. One of them says, Rosie eats his face with a question mark. Then I wrote product tester at the calculator factory.
Another job I'd be great at.
Yeah. So,
all right.
But we do have one last letter that Chuck definitely wrote.
This is probably the most plausible.
Dear Santa, it's your boy, the one and only Chuck Staten. I'm sure you're very busy getting all of my gifts ready for the big day. I think it's really wonderful that you, a mythical, magical man, exist to bring me and me alone presents every Christmas. I really am the reason for the season. I'm sure I'll be in Rhode Island for Christmas with my family, but just in case, don't forget that I also live in the very heart of New York City, the core of the Big Apple, where all the action happens, Staten Island. I moved there because I thought it was pronounced Staten Island, but I'm working on a letter writing campaign to the mayor. Maybe toss a few pens in my stocking, Santa? Ha ha. It's been a busy year for me. Please see the attached list of all the people who would rank as famous or even semi-famous at some level that I've either worked with, befriended, or just met at a function this year. You can keep that list, Santa. I hand them out a lot, so I have plenty of copies. I want to thank you for the gifts you brought me last year. The makeup and foundation have worked wonders. And this rad jean jacket is, well, rad. I understand that you didn't have time to stitch my name in sequins on the back like I very clearly stated in my letter. I get it. You must be busy. Almost as busy as I am, being the star of the hit podcast Tuesdays with Stories with my two little co-hosts. I have started a letter writing campaign to rename it Tuesdays with Chuck. And of course, all the work I do on the hit podcast Tell 'em Steve Dave, which will be changed to Tell 'em Chuck Chuck after my other letter writing campaign. Fill that stocking with pens, haha. Then there's the not a hit, let's say a light slap podcast, Funbearable. It's so much fun laughing and sharing stories at my best friend Brad. And Ray is great too, although I have been having more frequent and aggressive dreams of a sexual nature about him. Am I killing him or giving in to him? That brings me to the most important part. What I want this year. As I said, some pens would be great. And I know I usually have a very long list. In fact, most years I just send along a bit.ly link to a spreadsheet to save on stamps for this letter. But Santa, this year, I really want just one thing. And it's really important to me. And if the song is true, you already know what I'm talking about. You see me when I'm sleeping, so I know you can see me when I'm in bed. I don't want to write it. Not on Christmas, Santa. I know it's not a toy or even a tangible thing, but I would really, really like to stop prematurely ejaculating. I've tried everything, and I just can't stop making front mess before it's time. No matter how hard I try, I inevitably start thinking about how lucky this woman is to sleep with me. The king of Staten Island. And before you know it, I'm apologizing and crying every time, even when I'm alone. I've ruined the mirror I stand in front of. It's worse than that desk that time. So please, you're my last hope. You must be able to do this for me. Even if it's at great cost to yourself, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Help me, St. Nick. You're my only hope. Also, if you could make it bigger, that would be very much appreciated. Thanks, Santa. Autograph included for free, Chuck Staten. P.S. Forgive the stains.
I hope Santa comes through for you, buddy.
Yeah, me too. Christmas is the time for wishes, right, guys?
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
Implausible.
Yeah.
Unreasonable.
Yeah,
What's that?
right.
Another Christmas fact?
Oh.
Icelandic kids don't just get one Santa Claus. They get 13 mischievous trolls roaming the country in fortnights before Christmas. Each takes turn visiting children who leave shoes in their bedroom window, dropping off presents for the good kids, and rotting potatoes for the bad ones. Like Snow White's 7 dwarves, each of the 13 Jolesvaina, or Yule lads, has his own personality. This is all true, including doorway sniffer, spoon licker, sausage swiper, curd gobbler, and window peeper.
I've got some new ideas for jobs I could have.
Fun fact, these are also the same exact charges Chuck is facing in an ongoing court case.
Was one curd gobbler?
Curd gobbler.
I'll gobble curd. I will.
I like you saying that like it's the middle of it's the middle of a town hall meeting. And you're like, hey,
Senator.
I'll gobble curd, I'll do it. And you've got a ring of
If no one in this town will stand up and gobble curd, by God, I will.
And I guess that brings us to a fun little segment here. We've done a lot of written, prepped material here, but I do think there's something. If we're going to do our first live Funbearable podcast, I think we would be remiss if we left this out. Often on the podcast, we will start devolving into debating the sex lives of fictional characters.
Yes,
We've done that quite a bit.
It was never planned. It was an interesting topic.
Yeah, it's just in our minds.
Right. I think you brought up the first one, which was Marty McFly.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the very first one. And we still have disagreements about that.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of proof in my camp, and then you have your opinions.
I'm not interested in setting up a camp.
And
Where'd you get that flag?
and
Show us your real nails.
and so you had an idea for the podcast tonight. The
Yeah,
Christmas
I can't
podcast.
believe I'm the one bringing this to the table.
Neither can I.
But it's a quick round robin of who fucks, and we don't have a tune. We don't have a tune, and I wish we had a tune. But I did. I thought it would be funny, and I started thinking about it, and it genuinely does intrigue me, this idea, because I don't know the answer of this. Santa Claus, right? You brought it up earlier. He doesn't have children.
This is interesting.
What is the sex life of Santa Claus?
Can I ask a question? Maybe you know the answer, maybe you don't. Santa, does he, in any form of Santa, does he have any children?
No.
That's very strange. Don't you think that's kind of odd for a person that is basically all he does is take care of people and give people gifts? That's a strange trait.
Well, I think it makes sense. Like he gives gifts to all the children because he can't make children.
So you think that part of
I
his
think he
lore
was
is...
involved in an accident at a young age.
That's how he was martyred and became a saint.
Right. He was in World War I, and a can of mustard gas went off in his lap. But no, here's my question, really. I think, like, Santa and Mrs. Claus, surely they are releasing some pressure during the holidays, right? But he's a very, very busy man. He's so busy.
Well, he's busy one night a year.
Oh, you sound like Mrs. Claus.
I do.
Right. But no, he's working. He's getting all the toys ready. He's overseeing his slaves or elves. And but so when basically my question is, when he gets home Christmas morning, he has delivered all of the presents to all the good little boys and girls, and he gets in bed, and Mrs. Claus is there. Is he fucking Mrs. Claus that morning, or is he like, Jesus, I just worked?
I have some thoughts about this. So here's what I think. I think that after you do a big accomplishment, you do feel all horned up and ready to go, right? You've been there.
Define big accomplishment.
Well, it's his big day every year. You got to think that that's Santa's most exciting day. He's
Yes.
proud. He's full of, he's full of joy. He feels accomplished. He's like, I'm the man at that day.
He's full of cookies and dairy.
Yeah.
This is my point. This is my point.
I think he's sweaty and he stinks and he's full of sugar and milk.
This is what I think. I think that under normal circumstances, if he was doing a cool thing like a live podcast or a rock and roll show, he needs it afterwards. But if his whole day is like, I'm going to go from house to house eating cookies and hot chocolate and drinking eggnog and pretending to eat the carrots that they leave for the reindeer.
No, the reindeer eat the carrots. Santa doesn't.
Hold on, Chuck, in your mind, the Santa arrives at home. He eats the cookies. Santa, the real Santa, shows up with his reindeer. And then he's like, oh, guess I better eat this carrot. I don't want him to think I'm not real. And he just eats the carrot. And all the reindeer are up there starving.
All right, fine.
They're being whipped for speed.
He leaves the carrots, but he's eating cookies, eggnog, hot
He
chocolate.
feeds the carrots to the
He
reindeer.
gives the carrots, whatever. I think he gets home. He has the big plump belly. It's too much. We gotta take a nap.
I think it's too much.
I think it's too much. I think he takes a nap on Christmas. But is the question, does he have sex on Christmas or does he ever have sex in general? Which question are you asking?
On Christmas. I think Santa does have sex regularly throughout the year, and I think he's a generous lover. I think he's a giver.
No.
And I think that guy, you ever see somebody with like a gray or white beard and they smoke too much and they have the nicotine stains on their beard? I think it's that, but it's not nicotine. Is that too far? Was that too far?
That was too far for me.
I think he gets in bed on Christmas morning and attempts to initiate.
Yes.
And Mrs. Claus is like, "You stink!" Right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Go take a shower.
Yeah.
Right?
I think he like rolls into bed with his big stomach. He
Hey,
smells
let's
hot
let's
chocolate.
tone down the fat shaming of Santa. All right.
I think Brad has said the phrase to me. He introduced it into my life What was it? Is it too full to fuck?
It was. I didn't introduce it.
You did say that.
It was our. It was friends we met at Lou and Laura's wedding, and they said too bloated.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was an Italian honeymoon.
Yes, that's right.
Too bloated to fuck.
I think that's basically like a rule at the Claus household on Christmas. We are too bloated to fuck.
Yeah, for sure. And plus, he's got to check his sugar levels. He's definitely diabetic. He eats like 1 million cookies.
He had a couple carrots.
He did have a couple carrots.
What did the reindeer eat?
Nothing. They'll eat when they're done.
What do you say, Brad? What do you say about Santa?
I think not that night/morning. I think it would be insane. He's so tired. Time zones. He's been up for 47 hours. High pressure situation. He just wants to sleep.
I'm sure he's seen some shit.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's shown up at a couple houses and he's like, "Oh God," right? Like he has seen. He's like a grizzled detective in a crime procedural show, and he goes home and Mrs. Claus is like, "Well, you're done with everybody, but you forgot to take care of me, right?" And he's like, "Get off of me, woman! Do you know what I saw tonight? I saw things that would make your tits fall off." I've seen crime scenes, God damn it.
I'm sorry. I just want to be loved.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. We're getting so close to Santa hitting Mrs. Claus at this point. Just a drunk Mr. Santa going, "Oh, look what you made me do."
No, I want more of this scene. Keep going.
I'm sorry about that, honey. It's okay. I just get so worked up. I'll be in the shed. Right? He's always out there.
You spend a lot of time out there with the elves. Santa's having an affair is what I'm saying.
Yeah. During Christmas, they're elves. The rest of the year, they're friends. Close personal friends of mine. Except that one fucker that wanted to be a dentist. I'm like, good for you. Your hand jobs suck. Get out of here. Go live on that island with the fucked up toys. I don't know what's happening anymore. I blacked out.
But we all agree. We all agree that Santa on Christmas,
he needs a break.
He needs a break.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Absolutely.
To say. Yes, I think that's right.
This one, I just don't even know what to say. The Grinch. The sexual proclivities of the Grinch. Does the Grinch fuck? We see no genitals. Oh, we just heard from the audience. Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah.
Somebody is
Absolutely.
absolutely confident.
That guy fucks. That green furry bastard is getting laid all the time.
No visible genitals.
Yeah, no visible. I think they come out like a cloaca.
Oh.
I think his green fur opens a little bit, and then it's a Wang Woodle that comes out, and it's a Schnauzschneiger or whatever fucking weird Dr. Zeus name. It grew 3 sizes. Thank you very much. This is good. We'll pass the mic around. This is great. I do think he fucks. Yeah, I'm with you. I think he fucks. I don't know how. I don't know who, because there's no other Grinches.
Right.
Oh, does he fuck the Who's? Wait, consensually? It's consensual. Everybody in the room.
Who's.
How did that happen? The audience is like, "Oh no, not the Who." Who else is it? Is it Max? Is he taking one for the team?
I know. And
When it's not Christmas, is he taping something else to the top of his head?
Also, same place as Yes, the Grinch fucks, and then the Who's. No. So who's left in the story?
Yeah, that's it. That is absolutely it.
I think that Cindy Lou Who is the most famous Who, and that's probably
Don't
why
bring her up. Don't bring
I'm
her
just
up.
saying it's the most famous Who.
Well, here's my theory. I think he fucks the Who's consensually, and I think Cindy Lou Who is his illegitimate daughter, and that's why he had that effect, right?
Yeah, that's why when she came out, he was like, "Oh God."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I think it makes sense because he sneaks in and he sleeps with Cindy Lou Who's mom under the nose of the dad. And when he comes in, he slithers. He just slithers in and he just slides up there. And he's like, "Hey, you up?" Right?
He's a mean one.
Yeah, he's a mean one. I was going to say the same thing.
I'm going to say no for the Grinch.
Really?
I'm going to say
Is
no.
that why he's mad?
That's why he's mad.
Yeah.
You know what? And for my evidence, Exhibit A.
Maybe work on your slithering, right?
Oh, he can slither. Brad's a good slitherer.
me get my Lee press on nails. And
I mean, is the Grinch an abomination of some kind? Like, is he just like the only person that is a Grinch?
There are no other Grinches, right? Is it a Lord of the Rings situation where he was, what is it, Smeagol?
he was Smeagol.
He was
yeah.
Smeagol and he became Gollum, right?
Wow.
And maybe that's the situation. Maybe he was a Who, but he was just a real piece of shit, and then slowly became a green creep. And now he just lives there. He just lives in his cave, horny as hell.
I gotta say,
talking to his dog.
I mean, if we look at it from a different direction, if you are the Grinch, it's a tough road. You got a tough road to really charm any ladies, right? I mean, you got bad teeth. That's a fact. He's got yellow, crooked teeth. He has a scary voice. He's green. He kind of has like a weird plum body. I think if you're the Grinch, you're
More
starting
shaming.
off at,
More shaming.
I think you're starting off at a big deficit.
And I don't think it's a plum body. I think it's a literal pear body. He's pear-shaped.
That's true, but I think you're starting off at a deficit. So I think
Yeah.
Brad might be right, and maybe the Grinch's behavior is justified.
Where are the other Grinches?
I didn't say his behavior was justified.
I think.
Yeah, the hero of the story.
Yeah,
Right?
that's what I'm thinking. I think yes. That's what I think.
Brad's always like, I love that little special. It's so good. The last 15 minutes.
Yeah,
What
get
the
rid of
fuck's
that.
going on?
So unrealistic.
He almost got away.
Yes.
But I think in Brad's words, he said, but he pussed out.
Yes.
Yeah, 10% into the movie, Brad's always like, finally.
Yeah, somebody
Someone
gets
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think the Who's fuck?
Yeah, there's a million.
Where do little baby who's come from?
There's a difference between like just like scientific procreation,
Right.
and for fun recreation, right? You think the Who's are all business?
They seem pretty
The
busy.
Who, it's a Dr. Seuss world. The Who's could just be like walking down the street and go, and then there's another little Who, and they're like, oh, I had a kid. Okay, I guess, right?
Yeah.
What are their sexually transmitted disease names? Right?
Clamouga.
I'm trying so it got so quiet because all three of us are like, I've got snazdoozers on my boozer.
That doctor's appointment.
Oh man, I wouldn't want to be a doctor for Who's. I really would not be. I know there's a Doctor Who joke there. It's too easy. The last one that we want to talk. So Santa, we are firm. Like this guy, he does the job. I think he's a giver. I think he's a very generous lover.
Okay.
And then we're split on the Grinch, right? Yes.
I say no for the Grinch.
I say no for the Grinch.
I say that dude fucks. I say he's a bad boy. I say there are other Grinches or Who's that are just like, ooh, he's gonna piss off my parents so bad.
Oh yeah,
That's a good point. That's a good
the
point.
angle.
He's got that toothpick, shows up, won't come to the door, just honks the horn.
All right, I'm changing my tune. You're right. I like this. This is
Yeah,
good.
in Chuck's mind now, he's like, yeah, I'm the Grinch. All right, the last one is this one. This one's tricky because I don't know where I stand on this. Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge. we got a back in the day. We got an impotence. Could be together, I think, on that one. No, yeah, I think he just looks at his dead, broken dick, and he's just so mad. He's just so mad. That was originally the ghost that was going to show up to warn him about. It wasn't his old business partner. It was his penis rattling chains. Going, oh, you're just a crumb of cheese. He's like, no, Ebenezer, it's me. Remember me? Remember when you were virile?
No.
Remember all the fun times you had?
No.
Scrooge, man, that's a tough one. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I did some research. And I looked up the real life people that Ebenezer Scrooge was based on.
Okay.
And one of them had 2 sons out of wedlock, and some controversy there back in those times. And the other one had 2 sons, and then basically ignored them because they would cost money. And
My dad wrote it?
yeah, your dad was one of the inspirations.
Wow, my dad
For
was an inspiration for Scrooge.
I think Scrooge would hire prostitutes and then not pay them. So I think that yes.
So wait,
Scrooge was sexually active.
Are
Yeah.
you positing that Ebenezer Scrooge was in fact Jack the Ripper?
All right, I looked.
It matches up. The timeline matches up.
The timeline is like 20 years off, but I did look that up.
Oh man!
I think that Scrooge
What's
was
20 years in all of history? Right?
I think Scrooge was the inspiration for Jack the Ripper. Write it down.
Wait, I laughed, but you didn't, Brad. Just
Chuck, what's your opinion on Scrooge's old Wang Doodle?
There's just a lot of evidence in both sides. He's got a lot of money and he's very public about it, right? So
Right.
that's bringing him in. That's bringing him through the door. But his attitude
in Victorian England.
I think so, even more so.
I
There's
don't
probably
know.
people starving to death in the streets, freezing in their own homes.
No, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Off the homes that he owns.
Yeah, but but notice, like at the beginning of the story, it's not like there were women showing up, hat in hand, going, all right, I'll do it.
That's what I'm thinking.
You think that's what it is?
I do think I think there's that aspect to it, but he's just so obsessed with money that I think that he almost would rather have the money. He would rather say, "No, you still owe me this money. No, thank you." Slam the door.
You think he just like jerks off on money?
I think he does. Not even. I think that sex is behind him. I think he's reached a new level of power in the area that he was in. Well, he owns so many properties, right? All he cares about is having everyone's money.
Why does it sound like you're outlining a goal?
I'm just thinking about the idea of transcending needing human contact.
Oh my god!
I like that.
Oh god! He's like the Thanos of premature ejaculation.
Yeah, exactly. I say no way.
You say no. Yeah, it's tough. I think it's a case of back in the day he probably did have. Although, isn't in the story like the fact that he was supposed to be wed to a woman and then it didn't work out?
Yes.
He was more obsessed with money than the person he was originally in love with.
Yeah, I think he might have just been like, nope, I guess I'll just be alone and count my money, and that's why he's so angry.
I think so.
Yeah. So
Exhibit A.
So maybe those three ghosts that showed up didn't need to show him his whole fucking life and the future. Maybe they just needed to tug him off.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, this was great. I've been an asshole. I like to refer to it as post-nut clarity. After you have an orgasm, things are a little clearer, right?
Right, yeah.
And I can picture him having the same exact epiphany.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say.
Throws open the window. You there?
No, he ejaculates and he's like, whoa, wow. What day is it?
He goes, I gotta fuck something else. Get me a turkey as big as you.
You boy, are you free? No, get a turkey, get a goose. Now
The big
where's
one
that
in the window?
Where's that lame little boy? Really split the room on that joke. Wow.
That little guy in the back with the crutch is laughing.
While a single tear runs down his cheek.
This guy gets it. Let's run away from this topic with another fun fact.
Yeah.
Now, this is a little bit about one of our own traditions. According to the Smithsonian, the tradition of stockings is about marriage. St. Nicholas was wandering through a town and heard villagers discussing a poor widower who didn't have enough money to marry off his 3 daughters. He wanted to help, but knew the man would refuse any kind of charity directly. Instead, one night, St. Nicholas slid down the chimney of the family's house and filled the girls' recently laundered stockings, which happened to be drying by the fire, with gold coins, and then he disappeared. Fun fact, Chuck also likes to shimmy down a chimney to leave a deposit in the socks of unwed women all year round.
These facts aren't fun.
They're pretty fun. They're pretty fun.
Everyone ends with a joke about how I have to do with the thing. I don't like that.
That's the rhythm. That is absolutely the rhythm
I didn't
of this
realize
thing.
they were jokes about Chuck. Just
No,
confession.
they're fun facts. Now, we have a thing here, and I don't know if we're going to do it.
I say we do it. I say we do this.
all
This
right.
is fun. This is from the mind of Ray, and I like this a lot.
I guess it's okay. So, we're gonna need to use the imagination a little bit. We're gonna need to use theater of the mind for this. Okay. So, Brad, I'm gonna ask you to help me out here.
I'd love to.
I want you to react throughout this. Quietly being scared. Okay.
Okay.
And Chuck, I'm going to ask you to help me give me some theatrical sound. I want you to give me like a horrifying wind of just like that kind of thing, okay? Yeah, all right. Now, well, you don't have to start just yet. You'll know. Now, this is, like I said, you can change Santa's name to Gary, and it makes everything scary. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. I'm losing my mind. But there's also something interesting, and that is Frosty the Snowman. I'm not going to change a single line in Frosty the Snowman. I'm just going to read you the lyrics of the song Frosty the Snowman. But if you really think about the legend of Frosty, it's fucking horrifying. No amount of cartoon children laughing and being sad that he's a puddle will ever change that this is a horrifying tale about a monstrous serial killer. And so I present to you for Christmas Frosty the Snowman.
Hold on. Ready for this?
I'm scared.
Frosty the Snowman was a jolly, happy soul with a corncob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal.
That's weird.
Frosty the Snowman. He's a fairy tale, they say.
Oh, okay.
He's made of snow. But the children know he came to life one day.
What? How is that?
There must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found.
You found it. That's
For when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around.
like a witch's coven.
Oh,
What?
Frosty the Snowman was alive as he could be,
Oh God.
and the children say he could laugh and play, just the same as you and me.
Real Pennywise energy.
Frosty the Snowman knew the sun was hot that day,
Save me, son.
so he said, "Let's run,
Oh,
and we'll have some fun."
no.
Now, before I melt away. Down to the village with a broomstick in his hand.
Oh God, what are you doing with the broom?
Running here and there, all around the square, saying, "Catch me if you can!"
Oh, I'm hiding.
He led them down the streets of town, right to a traffic cop,
Oh, thank goodness,
and only
officer.
paused a moment when he heard him holler, "Stop!"
Oh God, no, officer.
For Frosty the Snowman had to hurry on his way, but he waved goodbye, saying, "Don't you cry.
At least he's gone.
I'll be back again someday."
No,
Thumpity, thump, thump,
I can still hear it.
thumpity, thump, thump.
Is that
Look
really
at Frosty go.
Please.
Thumpity,
Put me in
thump,
jail.
thump. Thumpity, thump, thump.
There's no place that's safe.
Over the hills of snow.
Oh God. My sister lives over those hills of snow.
That was good.
Oh, what a ridiculous thing.
That was great.
That was so stupid.
I love your voices. You do a good job with those
Oh,
voices.
thank you. I appreciate that.
I would love a frightening Frosty voice by you. That would fun. That's fun.
I don't know what that would be. I don't know.
I think you just did it.
Oh, well, I've got one more fun fact before we move on to something I don't even know what's about to happen.
There is a surprise coming for Ray, which I'm very excited about.
That's a horrifying thing to hear. You know what I
I'm
mean?
not excited about it.
Okay, that makes me worried. Here's the last Christmas fun fact. The world's smallest Christmas card. In 2010, nanotechnologists at the University of Glasgow created a teeny tiny Christmas card that could fit onto the surface of a postage stamp 8,276 times, or onto a regular sized Christmas card around 500,000 times. While the card is invisible to the human eye, fun fact, Inside it is a life-size illustration of Chuck's penis.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ray.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't know what this final thing was going to be.
Yes.
But the way you guys talked about it with me,
Yes.
it just filled me with dread. Like, you don't know what's coming.
Yes.
Like, a lot of... It was almost like if you put them in text form, what you said about this next segment,
Yes.
I could show them to the police and get a restraining order.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm really excited about this. You have no idea what's about to happen. Right?
We've got a broomstick in our hands.
You'll see. Don't worry, you'll see.
You're not going to like it at first. Yeah. But by the end. So,
That's what the Grinch says.
so I wanted to bring this up because, we had a podcast for a long time, Brad and I, called the Chuck and Brad Podcast.
Yes.
And we've really, thank you very much, we've really spent a lot of time together and we've created a lot together.
Yes.
But doing Funbearable with Ray in the picture, it made me see that there's a lot of stuff that has happened that he doesn't know about. And we have a really specific creative project that Brad and I made for Christmas years ago that is a regretful decision.
It is. That's legit. This is not a bit on Brad's
This is
part.
not a bit. No, we really, really did this. And some
Okay.
people were very upset about this, that we did this.
I would love to cast it into the sun and follow right behind it.
And we thought we'd tell Ray about that and in turn tell everybody here about that.
Confession is good for the soul.
That's right.
And now keep in mind, this was when we were discussing doing the live show. Chuck was very like, we got to have a closer. We got to have a big finish, right? Like, we've got to really end this thing on a pop. And he was thinking about some different ways to do it. And just to let you in, like, let's peek behind the curtain for a second, right?
Christmas curtain.
Yeah, the Christmas curtain. We've made some jokes about Chuck's ego, and it's all in good fun. But it was fun to listen to the process of coming up with what could be a close, because there was one moment on the phone, the three of us having a group phone call, and Chuck said genuinely, almost to himself, it'd be great if I could just like play a Christmas song on my guitar to you guys as the end of the show. And I was like, well, maybe we do something all together. and then he came to me, he's like, I got it. I talked to Brad for 2 hours on the phone while you were away. And it's like, oh, it's because Brad will just go along with it. I will. And he's like, so here's what we're going to do. I won't tell you what it is, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to tell you this thing. And I am genuinely interested in hearing what this is.
Well, there's a lot of creative spirit on the stage here. You'd agree with that.
Sure.
We all do a lot of different creative ideas. It's hard to consistently do new and unique creative things for Christmas.
Right. You're in a band. You do a lot of
Right.
Production work and directing.
Right.
Every year.
I'm
I'm a stand-up comic,
Right.
a filmmaker person. Brad has improv and his puppetry of the penis. He's doing.
It's not going well.
No. I keep telling you, it's not. You don't use a marionette.
And I keep telling you, it's not a ventriloquist dummy.
Then
So-
why does it keep talking to me?
So, a few years ago, Brad and I had the this is just a fun part of the idea. We said, let's go get professional pictures of us taken together to give out for Christmas cards. That's just fun.
Like normal friends do.
Yeah, all positives. And we were driving back from that, and as we do, we were driving in my car listening
Can we just clarify really quickly? You guys are not a couple.
No,
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 okay.
never.
All right, just
We're a
check.
couple of pals. I don't know if that's what you meant.
Were either of you? You just said that like you were caught with no clothes in a field. We're a couple of pals. Just a couple of pals.
We're just a couple of pals. What do you mean?
We were looking at the sunset.
If I had a nickel for every time I was asked if Brad was my boyfriend, oh my god.
I keep getting pulled aside and being told I can do better.
You can.
By my parents. So we were driving back from Macy's or Sears where we had these pictures taken. And
Cheers.
Brad was wearing...
It's like post 9/11.
It was the Glamour Shot Studio at the Taunton Mall. That's where we had these photos
That's amazing.
taken.
You went to a mall to do this in the future. Like, we live in an era, like, you have a computer in your pocket, and the two of you platonically went and got photos done at the mall.
For Christmas.
Like, you're two geriatric women that never found love, and you live together.
They were really, really fun photos.
Susan,
right?
let's do pictures together this year.
So, we're driving home. I have my tie on, and it has Christmas stuff. Brad has a Santa hat that's way too small. Remember we were listening to music?
Very fun.
And we had a great day. You wish you had a day like this, Ray. And
I know. I was unfortunately busy with my wife and child.
anyway.
What's that? Oh, hang on, I'll ask. Hey, honey, Chuck asked me if I want to go to the mall and get glamour shots done. No, with him and Brad. Because we're friends?
Hold on. You think this is a negative?
I think it's a net negative.
I will say this, before we get to what happened that year, the following year we were like, we gotta top that Christmas card.
We did save.
So we found Christmas cowboy outfits, and we went to one that had a Western theme, you know what I'm saying about that? And then we get these green Christmas guns, and we're dancing and kicking with our boots, remember?
I do.
And we had the cowboy hats on, and we gave out a card that said, have a rootin' tootin' Christmas.
How are you legally allowed to live alone? Like, this is all evidence. You need a conservatorship. Britney Spears' dad should be in charge of your life.
Now I'm gonna get to the part that's a little odd.
The rootin' tootin' Christmas Cowboys, normal day.
So, first year we did this, we got regular Christmas pictures taken. Brad was dressed in a nice sweater vest, I remember. Had a great day. We're driving home and listening to the song Holly Jolly Christmas. Brad's doing the low parts, I'm doing the harmonies. And
We argued about it for about 15 minutes beforehand.
and there was a part that says, like, it says like ho ho the mistletoe. Is that what it is? Ho
Something like
ho the mistletoe. And I was like, wouldn't it
On
be
where you can see.
And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if that line was hobos and mistletoe? That'd be funny. And Brad's like, I guess so. And I was like, do you want to write a Christmas song pretending that we're so ignorant that we're going to make fun of homeless people for Christmas? And Brad said,
I'm not doing anything else tonight, so
now let me paint the picture before Ray goes off on one of his tirades.
Just quick, when you said that, Brad, were you looking out the window sad? I'm not doing anything else tonight.
Part of it was, I want to be there for my friend Chuck during the Christmas season, loneliness, everything. So let me, sure, we'll write a version of this song, and that'll be the end of it.
It sucks because it's like, I expect it from Chuck. But Brad, you know better.
I have
know better.
I have to learn to set healthy boundaries.
I will say this.
You're a terrible Jiminy Cricket for this fucking Pinocchio over here.
I will say, I've noticed over the years, Brad has really catered to my whims.
Yes!
And it's like kind of like what's the thing when you kidnap someone and they start loving you?
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, I feel like that Brad has that.
I think it's more apt to say it's a Frankenstein and his monster situation.
So I said it's the idea, and I'm going to be clear about this. The idea is we're playing the characters of Chuck and Brad who are so inept and so blind that they're making fun of homeless people by accident in this song that is to raise awareness for the homeless.
I think it works in a fictional universe, like on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
If Charlie and Mac were assigned to write a song about homelessness awareness, and they wrote the song, funny.
Right.
However,
But this was just the two of you sitting in a car?
Well,
here's the thing.
Just genuinely thinking of it and going, we should put pen to paper.
So, Brad, why don't you tell them the next part?
We went back to Chuck's house, and I'm like, yeah. We'll just we'll
you gave him
write
a quick
this.
bath.
Yes. We had to feed him.
Burp 'em.
And Chuck's like, you know what? We should write this song. And I said, fine. And he said, we should record it and then burn it onto CDs and send it out to 70 of our friends. And also put it up as an MP3 for download for podcast fans.
Yes.
And also we're going to lengthen the song considerably.
To make room for all our jokes.
And you sing the low parts and I'll sing the harmonies. And at the time, I was like, yeah, that's okay. But really, it felt and feels like punching down. And
I think that's a pretty straightforward definition of punching down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so... And also, I mean, Brad is he's leaving some of it out. I said... Let's get it to 70 of our friends, not send it to 70 of our friends.
That's true, because then we had a CD burning party, and we burned CDs because this was 2013, and then we drove around from 10 p.m. until 3:30 the next morning, leaving CDs and these professionally taken photos in mailboxes of 40 people around New England.
Some people we did have to send out because they were across the country.
It's like you were the Unabomber of taste.
We called it Operation Santa Claus.
We did call it Operation Santa Claus. But here's the thing. Our song, making fun of the homeless people, but as characters...
Can we split the table?
Hold on.
So I'm on a different table.
Some people didn't understand the characters part. They thought it was real. We're making fun of the homeless. You're handing it out to people on Christmas. It's really awful. And I guess I see how it could be taken that way. But now, so many years later, as we've been forgiven by everyone, right?
No, I haven't forgiven myself.
I'm just hearing about it, and I need time.
We thought it'd be fun to read you the lyrics we wrote.
No.
Or, hold on. We called it Holly Jolly Christmas. We wanted to have a fun name. So we looked up all these different, slurs that you could have.
Jesus Christ. It is 2022.
It was synonyms, not slurs.
Listen, it is the tail end of 2022, and I am sitting in a fucking basement doing a podcast where the phrase, we had to look up slurs. I don't want to be a part of this. I didn't know that this was the thing.
So our version is called Holly Jolly Christmas.
I thought Santa was going to come, man.
Our version's called Holly Jolly Christmas, and then in parentheses, Gutter Pup version. I've never heard Gutter Pup before.
I haven't heard Gutter Pup since.
They were awesome. That band is fucking killer.
So,
We're going to go through the lyrics so that we can acknowledge this terrible part
Yes.
of our past, and Ray can be the arbiter.
Yeah,
and
so
Guilty.
yes.
And so Brad will read some of the lyrics. Maybe we'll talk about them because maybe by the end of this, Ray will be like, you know what? I get it. I'm a smart comedian. You guys are going for this elevated duality.
Yeah,
very
maybe.
funny.
Maybe that.
And you'll appreciate our turn of phrase, our jokes.
This gentleman is sitting with his arms crossed, looking very disappointed, and I want you to know that's me. I'm with you, sir.
We were playing characters. We were playing characters, and that's why
You didn't need to do this. You didn't need to come here and be like, this is what we did, and we're going to do it again.
No.
You're literally doing it again.
No, we're atoning.
This is like you murdering somebody at a murder trial. Going, I just want you to see how it happened.
No, this is what it is. We murdered someone, and now we're saying, maybe that was a bad idea.
By murdering them again.
Just saying, well, here's what happened with the murder.
All right, just say your words, man.
Have
say
a
your
holly
words.
jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Well, I don't know if there will be snow, but have a cup of cheer.
Normal lyrics.
Same lyrics. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and every bum you meet.
Nothing, not a big deal. That's not big. That's not a bad one.
Hobos and mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody gave you change. Kiss him once for me.
That's just like, hey, we're getting into it.
Have a drifting, listless Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, wrap a holly jolly bindle this year.
That's fun.
Staying with the hobo
A bindle
theme.
is funny. That's funny.
Have a scrounging, lounging Christmas. It's the time of year to care. Get off my stoop, go eat your soup. I've got no bisque to share.
Now, hold on, that's funny.
I'll say I don't know what bisque is.
Hold on.
It's a soup.
Pause that. Now that's funny.
Yeah.
That, if any person with a real mind for comedy would say that's good because
Chuck, do you know how you can tell when it's not going well? When you're saying into a microphone to a crowd of people. Now that's funny.
he says, "Go eat your soup. I've got no bisque to share." That's a funny build. He has his own bisque. This guy is clearly inept. We're making fun of people who would say this. Unfortunately, it's me and Brad saying it in the song. You get it?
As the
Yeah,
character
yeah.
version. Have a looming, gloomy Christmas. I don't mean to offend. I've got bad news. You won't have shoes unless you kill your friend.
Oh God. Jesus.
Life can be cruel and strange when you're on the street. You'll have to take a life to cover up your feet. Continues the shoes thing.
How long is it?
It feels significantly longer than it is.
Yeah.
That's what Chuck says. Have a brawling Christmas. And in case you didn't hear, now you'll really have a filthy, guilty Christmas this year. Have a homeless, frozen Christmas. Turn a trick just to stay warm.
Jesus.
Brad wrote that.
Christ.
Well, I won't ask what type of acts you were forced to perform. I don't like that.
Brad wrote that one.
I don't like that.
With me.
Have a throbbing, sobbing Christmas as you pray it's your last one. A mortal sin, then a fifth of gin to forget what you have done. Have a homeless, frozen Christmas. Mug a child just to stay warm. Well, I won't ask why your ski mask is so bloody and torn.
That was the G-rated lyrics because we made some that were G-rated and we
that's
didn't want to
right.
have the sex acts in
Yeah,
it.
fifth of gin, yeah. Oh my, it's present time. Your heart is filled with hope. I got the new Xbox, and you just got a box.
Hold on. Wait, pause this. I think here you should clearly see these guys are just characters. This was an accident. Not an accident, but these are characters. You don't love this, right? Well, this
No.
Just one little bit more, Ray. And then
right.
we can put this bit to bed forever. Have a fragrant, vagrant Christmas. And in case you didn't hear, that's because of the frostbite that has taken your ear.
Now hold on. Let's go back to what Brad originally said.
No.
If this was on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and there were two characters that were doing a bad job of raising awareness for the homeless, that would be funny.
Yeah.
It would be funny because they would fail and you'd have some sort of voice of reason there to tell them how much they failed. But we forgot about the voice of reason part and we just put this out as me and Brad made a Christmas song. And so the voice of reason was real people saying like, you guys should really die. You really should pass away after this.
Yeah.
And
And this is what you said. I know what we're gonna close the show with.
well.
It's our first live podcast, and it's so wonderful that people came out here tonight and had the patience to sit through it and enjoy some of it, and then at the end, what we'll do is we'll make them feel bad and culpable.
We're here to say maybe we shouldn't have done that.
We definitely
Yeah,
shouldn't have done it.
Weird.
I wish we hadn't.
Yeah.
But I also recognize it's a part of our past, and I don't
Right.
want to say that we have done everything right in the history
No.
of comedy. And so that's who we were. We're different now.
Yes.
We've grown.
We're really sorry, guys.
Not a bit.
Thank you.
Don't
We're so sorry.
applaud.
Yeah.
Do not applaud.
No, wow, they were so brave to say that. They were
I
so
also
good.
don't like a humble apology of "we're very sorry" while I'm sitting here too, because it looks like a press conference where these two definitely murdered somebody. I'm like, whoa, hang on, I did not know that this was what was happening.
Yeah, we're like, Ray, come into this press conference. You're like, okay,
You're like,
why?
okay, all right, all right.
We're all so sorry for what we
Yeah,
did.
What? I thought we were announcing a new product in the line. We gave all those kids cancer. Oh no!
So we're being clear. Bad idea. 9 years later, we're taking it back.
We wanted to.
More applause.
No.
We wanted to demonstrate penitence
Penance.
and kind of atone for it.
Penitence, not penance. Penance are little flags that are sporting a
So,
game.
as penance, we asked Ray
Yeah.
with no context.
We didn't tell him.
This
We
was
didn't tell
a
him
real
about this.
treat.
We said, Ray, the live podcast is in 30 hours. Can you please write several verses of Holly Jolly Christmas, making fun of Chuck and Brad,
Right.
to even the score?
We're evening the score.
Evening the score of a thing that I don't know about.
Right, again.
It's Ray and the unhomed community versus Chuck and Brad, and we're saying, bring it on, guys. So Ray,
It is so insane. And I was like, so you guys want me to, keep in mind.
you had no idea what we were doing.
I'm sick. I have a sinus infection. My son is sick. He has a fever. I'm
also-
taking care of my sweet little boy.
He also
And-
hates women comedians.
Oh yeah. And Chuck calls me and he's like, I talked to Brad for 2 hours on the phone. This is what we're gonna do. I need you to write a parody of a song you have no emotional attachment to whatsoever. And I was like, this seems really weird. I don't know what we're doing here. And he's like, no, it's fine. It's easy. It's AABB rhyme scheme. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, actually, it's AAB and then there's a CC and then a B. Yeah, well, I held to the rhyme scheme.
So Ray is you're gonna get us back, and we're finally gonna.
Now that I know what it's about, this is fucking nothing. This is the tamest, fucking softest dick ever. And you guys deserve far worse. Far worse.
Fun fact, a previous world record holder of the softest dick ever.
So Ray, you didn't know what he was doing it for, but Ray wrote a version of Holly Jolly Christmas, making fun of us to make things even, and so we never did this, and it's expunged from our record.
The punishment doesn't fit the crime. Some would say this is a punishment against me as well, because now I have to read a fucking song parody. Thank you guys sincerely for coming out, and just, if you when you think back to this night, think about it ending right around Scrooge busting a nut, and I think we'll have a good time. It'll be a good memory for everybody. Please put your phone down. I'm worried about this going out. It's a very fun, bearable Christmas.
Yeah!
And we're glad that you are here.
There you go.
I don't know if you're a fan of our show, but this is what you'll hear. It's a holly jolly podcast, always funny and at times obscene. And Chuck's ego tries to steal the show, constantly behind the scenes.
This is great.
Oh no, a song parody is the worst way to end the night. But Brad and Chuck put it all on me, and it wasn't worth the fight. So here's a holly jolly sing song, and I'm sure you get the gist. Oh, by golly, we're a holly jolly podcast. Piss! Verse 2, because they told me to do 3. Brad grew up relatively well off with his mom and dad around. But his asshole's so tight, it won't unclench until he's in the ground. Sorry. If Brad just jizzed, he'd be happy. The guy just needs to come. But Brad is sad and also mad. He's like a great big sighing thumb. Oh no, a song parody, chorus too, is the worst way to end the show. But Brad and Chuck put it all on me, and I needed you to know. So here's a holly jolly sing song. I know the rhythm's hit or miss, but oh by golly, we're a holly jolly podcast. Piss! Chuck's a man-child with a child's dick, and he's always full of cheer. He's had a privileged life, free of strife, compared to all his peers. Chuck makes a good living making podcasts, and that's rad. He's privileged, though. He doesn't want you to know that he still works for his dad.
That's true. Oh no, a song parody is the worst way to say goodbye. But Brad and Chuck put it all on me, so I had to at least try. So here's a holly jolly sing song, and just remember this. I hope by golly you have a holly jolly Christmas. Piss!
That's very good, Ray. That's very
Great job,
good.
Ray.
Very good.
I hope some of you will be witnesses at what is, I'm sure, to be my child's trial to see if I get custody or not. I think that's what's going to happen.
And all three of us
right.
do want to apologize for that original Holly Jolly
Hang on.
Christmas years ago. We all do not stand by.
2 out of 3.
Ray stands behind it, but the rest, me and
Yeah,
Brad.
I stand behind it, shoving it into a trash compactor.
It's weird because
boy.
this is the second time that Chuck has done a thing that has upset people, and his way of apology is to present it again
Yeah.
while apologizing for it. That's
Yeah.
twice. Twice. Big
We
thing.
all saw that TMZ video.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was supposed to be the close of the show. I do think we had a lot of fun here tonight,
Yes.
And I want to thank you all sincerely for coming out tonight.
It means a lot.
This was an unknown. This really was. This was the podcast is fairly young,
Very
right?
young.
Right.
It's a young podcast, so young in fact Chuck's not allowed to be alone with it, and.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
So, doing a live podcast is a bit of a risk. I think it's something we don't know what's going to happen, and we really do appreciate the all of you for coming out. And if you're listening to the podcast and you're not watching, just know there's about 15,000 people in the room.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's really. Traffic is going to be a bear tonight.
Oh, it's going to be so bad. But we do want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah if that's your thing.
Real quick, I want to thank the George
Yes.
for having us here. Thank you to our friends at the Glue Factory for helping put this together. We appreciate that.
And thank you to the bartenders and staff that are working really hard.
Yeah.
And they had to hear this shit, and they don't even know what the fuck we're talking about.
They just talked about the Grinch has a cloaca. I don't know.
There's a lot of jizz and homeless people dying. It was very
I
strange.
know one of those guys had a very small penis.
The one with the beautiful nails. Can you tell we don't know how to close a live podcast?
Thank you all so much for coming out
Yes.
tonight. Thank you for those of you who are watching and listening online.
Yes.
And we hope that you have a great holiday season. For Chuck Staten and Ray Harrington, I'm Brad Rohr saying thank you all so much, and we're sorry for being Funbearable. Chuck's got to lose those nails.
All right. I'm going home.